by JM Financial. As a reminder, all participant line will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touch tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Vaibhav Shah. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Deepika. On behalf of JM Financial, I welcome everybody to Q1FY25 earnings conference call of NCC Ltd. We have from the management today, Sri R.S. Raju, Director of Projects, Sri Sanjay Pusatla, Executive Vice President, Finance and Accounts, and Sri Neeraj Sharma, Head Strategy and Investor Relations. I hand over the call to the management now for their opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ashish Shah. Mr. Vaibhav Shah, sorry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you into the Q1FY25 Investors Earnings Call of NCC Ltd. The presentation containing the performance of Q1FY25 was uploaded on the Stock Exchange website and to our website. Now I will take you through the key highlights of the first quarter, and thereafter we will take you to question and answers. The interaction is broadly divided into three following sections. In the first part, I will talk about a brief overview of the business environment and prospects for our company. In the second part, our CFO will brief about the financial performance of the company for the first quarter. In the third part, we will attempt to answer all your questions and clarifications. Before going to the details, the usual disclaimer of the presentation that we have uploaded on the Stock Exchange and our website today, including the discussions that we will have in this call, contains or may contain certain forward-looking statements relating to NCCL business prospects and profitability, which are subject to several risks and uncertainties, and actual results may materially differ from those in such forward-looking statements. Now, when it comes to the guidance, we have given a guidance for order booking in the range of 20,000 to 22,000 crores for FY24-25. The order pipeline of NCC is very strong at this moment, and we expect that the company will achieve the given guidance for the order booking. We have given a guidance of 15% growth in invoice booking, against which in first quarter we achieved 23% despite the elections and steep high temperatures at various places. Therefore, we are confident to achieve guidance given for FY25 for invoice booking. With respect to the margins, the company achieved 9.3% EBITDA margin in Q1 as against guidance given for a range of 9.5 to 10% for the year as a whole. So going forward, we expect to reach 9.5% EBITDA margins. To come to the earlier visit to discuss AP projects, now all of you are aware that there is a change in the government in AP. So NDA led the government is there now, and particularly the earlier Telugu Party. It is a pro-development or a pro-infra development nature of government. So when you take how the prospects in the AP now, so there is a positive outlook with respect to the AP projects now. The orders relating to capital city abandoned 4 years back. Now there is a chance to restart of those orders. Further, the pending payments relating to the projects awarded prior to 2019 going to materialize in a couple of months. With this, there is an overall positive outlook with respect to AP projects for the company from the growth perspective. Further, in the recent budget, all of you are aware that about 15,000 crores specific allocation made for the development of the capital city projects. And further, the other allocations are also given for the infra development across Andhra Pradesh. So with this, the NCC company have good opportunity to again restart the works and to realize the whole pending amounts. Similarly, in the union budget is a special allocation of funds given by 26,000 crores for infra development and 22,000 federal funds for Bihar state. In Bihar state, NCC is doing already several works. So here also we have the chance to click to get the orders besides the orders from the all over India. About the debt of the company, as far as debt is concerned, there is an increase in debt from that of the previous year by about 815 crores. So there are two primary reasons for increase in debt. The first one is generally in construction industry, the debt increases in first and second quarters and comes down in third and fourth quarters. The second reason is because of elections, there is a slow process in releasing bills and allocation of funds by the clients. So, but in subsequent month in July 24, the company received nearly about 500 crores the payments pending in the first quarter. With this, the debt position also now comes down. As far as NCC Vizag Urban is concerned, in the first quarter, we received an amount of 67.25 crores relating to the sale of our equity investment, and a balance investment of 232 crores we expect to receive in 2 to 3 months period. Now I will hand over this mic to Mr. Sanjay, our CFO, to take up the second part, detailed brief on the operating and financial performance of the company.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sanjay Busarla, EVP and CFO of NCC Ltd. I am going to give you a brief on the performance of the company at the standalone level and the consolidated level. At the standalone level, the company has achieved a turnover of 4,747 crores, which is 23% higher when compared to the same quarter of the last year. Similarly, in the case of EBITDA also, there is an improvement, and the EBITDA for this year, first quarter is 439 crores, as against 380 crores in the previous year. Similarly, same PAT also, there is an increase of about 38 crores, that is 200.74 crores in the first quarter of 24-25, as against 162 crores of the last year. There is an increase of about 24% in the PAT level. For the consolidated level, the turnover at the consolidated level is 5,558 crores, as against 4,407 crores, showing an increase of 26%. And at EBITDA level, the increase is 21%. If it is current year, it is 478 crores, as against previous year 409 crores. At PAT level, attributable to the shareholders, the current year it is 210 crores, 209.92 crores precisely, as against 173.54 crores, which is a 21% increase. And the order book position, as on the beginning of the year, the order book was 57,536 crores, and we have received an order of 408 crores in the first quarter. After eliminating the execution in the first quarter, the order book stands at 52,626 crores as at the end of June 24. Okay. And coming to the trade receivables, as it was explained earlier, the debt position has a little bit increased because of the first quarter. As it is in the nature of the construction industry, the first quarter debt levels will be little higher. Besides that, because of these elections, the collections were little hampered and realizations were slowed down. So the debtors stands at 3,654 crores. As against 3,063 crores as on same date of the previous year. And compared to the 31st March, it was almost like 900 crores higher when compared to 31st March. The debtors collection period as at June 24 stands at 86 days as against 57 days of 31st March. But when you compare with the same period of the previous year, it was 82 days. That means it is 86 days in the current quarter as against the 82 days of the same period of the last year. So coming to the advances, like mobilization advances, there is an increase about by 100 crores. It stands at 2,425 crores as at the end of March 24. And the interest-bearing advances, of which 72% of the advances will be interest-bearing, about 1,751 crores. And the average interest works out to 9.5%, which is less than what it was there as on March 24, which is 9.72%. And a year before, it was 10.72%. The advances, the interest rate, average interest rate has come down by almost like 22 basis points when compared to March 24. And I'll be explaining about the unbilled revenue. Unbilled revenue as on 30th June is 4,719 crores as against 3,859 crores in the March 24. And which is 25% of the turnover. When compared to the previous year, previous year it was 21% and this year it was 25%. The increase in unbilled revenue is due to the reasons which we have explained before. There were slowdown in the billing process, but all these things were cleared in the month of July. So as regards debt position, I think Mr. Raju has already explained to you that the debt as on 30th June 24 is 1,819 crores as against 1,005 crores as at the end of March 24, showing an increase in debt utilization by 814 crores. So the finance costs, when we compared with the last year, the finance costs have come down from 3.45% to 3.25%. The gross finance cost is 153 crores and the net finance cost after eliminating the income and in terms of interest is coming to 132 crores, which is 2.8% in the first quarter of this year when compared to the same period of the last year at 3.03%. The interest cost is coming down to this extent. Yeah. So now the session is open for the question and answer. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes. Good evening, sir, and thanks for the opportunity. My question is on this, sir, on the new government. Do you think the old projects can be revived meaningfully? If I remember correctly, I think orders worth 100 billion got cancelled last time in 2019.
Okay. Now there are 3 parts we can discuss the AP projects. In 2019, the government has cancelled certain orders, and in this at the same time they abandoned certain orders. They have not cancelled those orders, but they are in the force. And certain orders they asked us to continue, and that we are continuing. We have been continuing those orders. About the capital city projects, which are there in the force now, but only the amounts are outstanding from the client. Works are abandoned, but they have not cancelled those orders. So those orders, since capital city now coming up, so we have every chance. And government also asked us to restart those works. But whether we take up those projects at the given rates and other things is a big question to see. So therefore, lot of discussions takes place between the client and the NCC, and basing on the conclusions, those orders roughly at this moment we can say about 5,000 crores. Those orders may restart. About the order cancel, that is again a different outlook. Again, the government again will come up with a new tender, or they may revive those orders, and how they are at this moment we cannot talk on that one. But we have to wait for some time to have more clarity about the government conclusion on that one.
Understood, sir. My second question is on the order inflow. We started with a very, very soft quarter in Q1 in terms of order inflow. While you've seen that some of your competitors have received a decent amount of order inflow, especially post-June, how do you think about the order prospects for the balance of the year, and which are the segments where you are more positive compared to last year?
Yes, so in the first quarter, yes, about order pipeline concern, we have a strong order pipeline. And we have some orders waiting for the LOAs orders. So once those LOAs comes, then in the first half year, whatever the guidance we are given, and mostly we achieve that guidance for even first half year also. So for the year as a whole, at this moment, company is confident to achieve the whatever guidance given for the order booking.
Understood, sir. Thank you, Knowledge, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Shravan Shah from Dolat Capital. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, just to clarify in the sense that we are saying that a 15% revenue growth for this year and 23% we have already done. So is there a possibility that this number growth of 15% can even go up to 18-20% for this year?
Yes, that one, basing on the present what the progress taken place in the first quarter, there are chances, but in the third and fourth quarter, the order, the invoice booking out of the new orders to secure in the year 24-25 is to be seen, isn't it? We have not got any orders into our books of accounts. Only we are waiting for the LOAs. So bearing that one, definitely 15% plus would be there, the invoice booking in the remaining quarters. In the second half year, at that time we can comment on that one about how the third and fourth quarter progress. At the time again we will confirm you on that one.
Okay, and on the margin front, in the presentation we said that 9.5 to 10%, but in your opening remarks you said 9.5%. So slightly on the lower band of the margin. So that's what we are seeing. Whatever the orders that we have won and we are about to execute, where we are likely to see a slightly lower margin, and that's what we are saying. Maybe we can achieve a lower band of 9.5% of EBITDA margin.
Yes, so in the guidance, what we given 9.5% to 10%, that is range we have given. So the first quarter we achieved about 9.33. So as a result, at this moment, the minimum range band, whatever is there, 9.5, we are confident to achieve 9.5 level. And again, more and above 9.5, okay, we have to wait and see about third and fourth quarter results.
And sir, L1 orders, 2 MSRDC and one another project, the value is close to 8,700 odd crore, if you can reconfirm.
Yes, 8,500 crores.
Is about that number only. Yeah.
Okay. And sir, just a couple of data points on the balance sheet front. So inventory, debtors, retention money, and loans and investment to subsidiary and associate.
One second. Can you please recall what you are looking?
Inventory, trade payable, retention money, and total investment in subsidiary and associates.
Yeah, inventories as on 31st March is 1,400 and as on 30th June is 1,300. Okay, retention money is 1,500 as on 31st March and it is 1,532 as on 30th of June. Okay, and investments. Investments is 1,033 as at the end of March 24 and it is same level even as at the 30th March.
So what was the loan numbers which was 509 odd crore as on March to subsidiary and associates?
509 as at the end of March and that was 473 at the end of the first quarter now. There is a reduction.
And trade payable as on June?
Trade payable as on June 5,481 as against 4,966 as at March.
Okay. And lastly, possible the capex, how much we have done and for full year, how much we are looking at?
Full year we were budgeting around 250 crores and we have done around 51 crores as at the end of first quarter.
So this does not include the J. Kumar JV TBM?
No. TBM we have already told in the last year itself that when it is coming it will be added in the capex additionally.
Okay. Thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Parvez Qazi from Nuvama Group. Please go ahead, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. So you mentioned that on certain projects in Andhra, the payment is still pending. So what would be the quantum of such payments which we are still yet to receive?
Okay, now there are 2-3 parts are there. The first part is about the funds blocked on account of the capital city projects are about 150 crores. And the running projects are about 350 or 400 crores are there. So now already the dialogues are taking place with the government and we expect nearly 300 crores to materialize in couple of weeks. Out of that one, thereafter some clarity will be known about the continuation of the projects. Some of the projects are already running. There is change in the government and what the priorities of this government from that of the earlier government. What works they ask us to continue. What works they give the priority. Basing on that clarity, some more clarity will come. But as far as the pending payments are concerned, we expect about 300 crores to materialize in a couple of weeks.
Sure. So when we say that 350 to 400 crore is on account of running projects, these are also in Amravati and running, or these are projects in the rest of the state?
In the rest of the place, these are the projects which are running in the rest of the places other than AP TIDCO and Amravati projects. They are medical colleges and APSMIDC projects.
Water projects, water supply projects are there.
Sure. What would be the cash level at the end of June?
Cash.
140 crores.
140 crores. I get the number right?
Yes.
Sure. And last question, would be great if you could update us about the status of the Jal Jeevan Mission projects and also the smart meter project. Thank you.
You want to tell Jal Jeevan projects?
Jal Jeevan and smart meters.
About to Jal Jeevan projects, by end of June 24, we have completed 60% of the projects. And the balance, we have about 6,000 crores as on this date. And by March 2025, we expect to complete about 95% of the projects. About the smart meter projects, the Bihar project is one already we issued the orders for supply for meters and supplied the meters, about 80,000 meters supplied, and 55,000 meters we installed, and also the system, software system is also installed into that one. Now the client is verifying the system as a properly synchronized with the IT system and communication system. The checking is over, and our department, our division is expecting this clearance from the client in a month's time. So thereafter, once the clearance comes, they continue to install the meters. That is about this Bihar Road project. They also drawn the mobilization advance of the first lot to spend for the project. And about the Maharashtra state 2 packages are concerned, there is now the client priorities change in that one, and they given priority to install the meters at the offices rather than at the total remote villages. Installation at the office means it is in a scattered place. The progress of the installation will be low. So in the first 2-3 months, the progress would be low. And once the government gives the clearance to install in the total village, then the progress will pick up. So thereby we expect that Q2 and Q3 may not be there good progress. And in Q4, and we expect to pick up the progress on that one.
Sure, but you expect any impact of the Maharashtra election on this approval sector?
Certainly, we are also cautiously moving on that one. We are not aggressively moving, keeping the elections ahead. And thereby, we will also want to do, as per the client, go in the slow pace, because every uncertainty would be there when elections are there. Even if I turn as far as bill process, payments are concerned, there is some uncertainty. So we are going a little bit slow as far as Maharashtra products are concerned. And the rest of the things, whatever the requirements are there, that we are doing, except buying and installing the meters.
Sure, sir. Thanks and all the best. I will come back in the queue.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Prem Khurana from Anand Rathi Shares. Please go ahead, sir.
My question, sir. Sir, 2 questions. So one was with respect to Taka settlement that we had achieved some time back. I think, 175 crore was the number that we were supposed to pay to Taka, and 90 was paid last quarter itself. So what's the status on the balance amount? Has it been paid or it is still to go?
So we have paid the second installment of 45
crores, which is due in June, and the last installment is due in December. And we expect to pay on time as scheduled.
Sure. And the second, I'm not sure if you, in your opening remarks, I joined a little late, so please pardon me, if it is already answered. But we were looking to have a partner for our smart meter business. Any progress there that you could share with us?
Partner?
Yeah, so the 2 SPV projects, we wanted to rope in a partner, right? Wherein we were willing to give away 50% sort of economic interest. So have we been able to identify any partner, and what sort of dilution would be willing to go with them?
Mr. Khurana, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I think Mr. Raju, my colleague, Mr. Raju has already brought to your attention the fact that for the Maharashtra project, which is in SPV, we have decided to go a bit slow.
Okay.
That said, we have initiated discussions with couple of potential investors. So as and when the pace of the project picks up, we should be in a position to finalize the partner.
Sure. So the plan stays, but then obviously, you would want to make some progress before you go ahead with the plan.
Right, that's right. Because at the end of the day, there is a mobilization advance. and we have to raise the equity when we have to really procure those meters in bulk. For that we need the money. So currently, as Mr. Raju brought to your attention, we are going a bit slow. As and when this picks up pace, we will, have partner on board.
Any thoughts on how many vendors are we dealing with who kind of procure meters? Given the fact that there were many orders of the same nature, I'm not sure if the industry has that sort of capacity to be able to kind of produce those many meters. So how is the situation? I'm sure you would have already assessed the situation in which you would have taken the orders, but if you could share your thoughts on how easy or difficult is it to be able to find a vendor?
This is a big question. Now vendors are there in the market, and it is not a big challenge for the company to procure the meters, identifying this one. But a lot of work is going on in that front. Ultimately, what we look for is a reliable quality and lower price. These are the primary objectives. So on that one, a lot of exercise is going on. And to keep the progress already identified and the suppliers supplying the meters. But going forward, it go in a different manner, not depend on one supplier. So like that, the exercise is going on. At this moment, it is not correct to detail vendors' names and other things.
Mr. Kulkarni, if I may add my 2 cents to your question. So in this project, the ownership rests with us for about a decade or so. Okay. So at the end of the day, we are responsible for the performance of the meters for a decade. And in most of the tender, the conditions talk about some kind of technology platform, not a name of the vendor X, Y, Z, A, B, C or so. So if there are plenty of vendors available in the market, we have to also keep in mind the fact that to how long these vendors should be in a position to support these maintenance of these meters, operations of these meters for about a decade's time. So the technology platform is available, and there are a lot of people who should be able to qualify for the SLAs which are required for the performance of these meters. So we will decide at the right point of time, but I don't think that is going to be a challenge for us.
And just one last bookkeeping question, if you could help me with the bank balance number. You gave the cash number, but if possible, the bank balance number, please.
140 crores cash and cash equivalents as of 30th June 24.
Okay.
As against 489 crores of March 24.
And for margin money deposits, how much would that amount be? If you could share, please.
694 crores now.
674?
694.
94. Sure, sir. Thank you, and all the very best for you. A few more, I'll come back in the queue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Parikshit Kanpal from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Congratulations on a decent quarter, sir. My first question is on the EP ordering. So, if I remember correctly, at the peak, you had an order book close to about 18,000 crores from AP. So, directionally, how do we see the ordering happening in AP? Do you think that over the next 3-4 years, there could be a big catch-up, because in the last 4-5 years, nothing much has happened from the ordering point of view? So how substantial can this opportunity be for you?
Talking about AP, right? Mr. Parikshit, could you please repeat your question? Is it about AP or is it about the market as a whole? Please louder.
Yeah, so I'm talking only about AP. In the peak of your order book, AP was contributing about 18,000 crores to the total overall order book. So just wanted to understand from the point of view of next 3-4 years, how do you think
Yeah, your voice is not very, clear to us. Could you speak a bit louder? But by the way, I have understood your question.
Yeah.
So I would answer this question in two parts. Firstly, it is a premature to talk about what kind of projects are, really coming for bidding, what is the competition, what is the size of the project, and who are the people who are finally going to qualify. So there are a lot of, so we will cross the bridge when we get to it. At this point of time, it is really difficult to even estimate what kind of projects are coming, what is the size, nature, vertical. So we'll cross the bridge when we get to it. That said, the second thing that I wish to bring to your attention is we are not a company that is currently dependent on only one state, AP or X or X, Y or Z. You must have seen in the investor presentation that we have uploaded on our website. We are a pan-India company. We have projects from almost all these states. And we are quite confident to go to any state of the country wherever good projects are available to bid for the projects, bag the projects, and execute the projects. Specifically coming back to the AP, once the projects are announced, then we should be in a position to really talk about a possible number, whether that may be the top contributing state or the second top contributing state or the fifth. That time hasn't come as we speak.
But given your current, I think, if you can just repeat, what is the current inflow guidance? I think you spoke about 20 to 25,000 crores for inflows of this year, right?
Yeah, let me repeat. The inflow that we have shared with the street is a band this time for a change. That is 20,000 to 22,000 crore.
Okay. And you're not expecting any meaningful contribution in this to come in from AP?
May come, may not come. The kind of media reports which are coming out that, the government itself is trying to study which are the right projects to start. But
no, that I understand, sir. I mean, your assumptions, you're not building a big order inflow from the AP in these numbers of 20. So if anything comes from AP, could be a positive surprise on this number, right?
Of course. When we shared these numbers with you way back in mid-May, we did not have all these developments, available with us. So the guidance that we have shared with the street is all these states minus AP. If you prefer, you could say that.
Okay. So my second question is on the entire transmission and distribution opportunity. So what is the play for us there? Do you think now with Power Grid giving large orders on the HVDC side, do you think we'll participate in that, or we'll focus on lower voltage segment, maybe more on RDSS opportunity and state utility side? So if you can highlight the opportunity and the play for us there.
See, there are all three kinds of opportunities which are coming. Though we have done a lot of projects on HT side also, we have the qualification for 400 kV transmission line, even higher transmission line. We have also done 220 kV. So we have, but those kind of projects which are really coming for bidding are some kind of boot kind of model, in which you have to invest some equity, come into some debt. So we are actively looking at those projects. But I think the prime activity currently is happening in the LV space. That is RDSS scheme. RDSS scheme is a signature project of the Government of India, well funded. The total outlay available is more than 3 lakh crore. The funding is already in place largely by PFC and REC. So I think that is the main chunk of the market that we are currently focusing upon.
Okay. And this last question, so now most of the Indian players are, of your similar size like AC Kalpataru and all. So my question was more on the opportunity which they are playing in T&D on 400 kV and above, 400, 765, 800 kV. That was there. And related to that, are you revisiting your international strategy? Do you think that now it's time to revisit and start also looking at opportunities in international market, or you think that India is self-sufficient wherein you can still grow with domestic orders?
Currently, we are not focusing, any international market. We think this market is, sufficiently large for us to give us the inflows that we really need for, short to medium term. So currently, our focus continues to be the construction market in India.
Hello. Okay. And just last thing, if you can help me understand what is the pending real estate payments on the land we have sold in Vizag.
That is 33 crore. That is the equity part, and there would be, the loan part that is expected to come to us in next couple of years. I repeat, the equity portion, the pending payment from the client is about 33 crore, and then we are expecting to get the loan back in next couple of years.
What is the loan amount, sir? Total loan amount pending?
370 odd. 377 to be accurate, as of 30th June.
And this is expected by when? 377 crores. Any revised date, or when is?
Next 2 years.
Next 2 years, okay. And this balance 33 crores is expected when?
In 2 to 3 months. This quarter, couple of months.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you and wish you all the best. Those were my questions. I'll join the queue for more questions.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Dhananjay Mishra from Sunidhi Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. All my questions are answered. Just one question again on the AP part. So, given the past experience we had, although you said that this incumbent government is pro-development and central is also supporting this year, or maybe next 4 or 5 years, we're going to support state government and more projects will come. But in terms of our exposure, would you like to be selective in AP given the past experience, or you will be aggressive in bidding project in AP?
Let me answer your question a little differently. Being a listed company, we have a committee of the board, ERM, and we look at the state-wise, vertical-wise risk very carefully. So not only for the AP, for any state or any vertical for that matter, we do not really believe in going aggressively, just bidding for the sake of bidding, bagging a project for the sake of bagging a project. We never have followed that strategy, and we continue to, have the same stance as far as aggressive bidding is concerned.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nidhi Shah, ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much for taking my question. I know that you've already answered a couple of questions on the order book, but I still wanted to know the LOAs that you said you will be receiving. What is the amount of that is pending, number one? And how much do you think could be cleared in this coming quarter from that? That's my first question.
Repeat the second part once again. Second part is how much?
That order book, we have already explained earlier that about 8,500 crores is the orders which are in the pipeline. And we are expecting those orders to get matured maybe in this quarter.
Okay, so you are expecting the entire balance to be matured in this quarter.
So as on date, it is the expectation, and we have to wait and see.
Yeah, that said, this is a prerogative of the client,
Yeah.
When the client intends to award the order, then when we will get it,
Right, of course.
It doesn't really depend on the kind of efforts that we make. We might prefer to have it, the tomorrow morning, but they may not be in a position to award. So hopefully in this quarter or maybe next quarter, we are quite hopeful to, get those projects.
Right. And you also, of course, the PPT mentions the order inflow for the first quarter, but in the last 2 months since this quarter has started, have we received any new orders?
You're talking about the second quarter?
Yeah, second quarter. Have we received any orders in the second quarter?
Then even if we receive, we would first, submit that to the stock exchange. As we speak, we have not received. All that we have is what we have shared in the PPT.
Okay. And in smart meters, again.
I'm sorry, Ms. Shah. May we please request you to return to the question queue for follow-up questions?
Okay.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vishal Periwal from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So thanks for the opportunity. Sir, in this quarter's presentation, so the order book has a composition of mining as one of the segment. So is that fair to understand that order book, which is mining, will be executed within a year in like a 12-month time frame?
Yes. Now, the order book, whatever we given in the order book, is for a period of 3 years. So that is executable in 3 years period. At this moment, the progress in that project is going well. And whatever now we considered in the budget of FY24-25 from that company or from the project is achievable. And the order book we go on increase every year since it is a long-term project of 25 to 30 years. So whatever value given in the book, that represents 3 years value.
Okay, so 8% is 3 years. Got it. And maybe one clarification. In the initial part of the commentary, you did mention that Andhra roughly like 5,000 odd crore worth of project could get. So this particular projects, they are part of our order book, or they have been dropped and then further they can come back as an order inflow for us?
It is not there. It is not there in the present order book that we have dropped earlier.
Okay. Sure, sir. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Shravan Shah from Dolat Capital. Please go ahead.
So to continue, so if this 5,000 crore comes up, so our order inflow that we are looking at 20 to 22,000 crore plus this 5,000 crore if it comes back, and plus if AP anything more comes up. So that's the way one can look at it.
Already that part was explained by a colleague. In the budget, no orders we consider from the Andhra Pradesh. So now if any orders comes, generally participate in the order book. So again, this 20,000, there is no order and pass-through. That figure also vary. And downward may vary or upward may vary even without Andhra Pradesh. So when Andhra Pradesh is there, there is a positive outlook to book more orders than what we give in the guidance.
Got it. And sir, in terms of the debt level, which you have mentioned that it normally increases in the 1H and then it reduces. So by end of FY25, how we look at in terms of the standalone gross debt levels?
So now, according to our plan is to stand at 500 crores debt level by end of FY25.
Okay, got it. And in terms of the this Semco, we were supposed to get 47 crore. Have we received it?
No, it is not received, and there are certain issues for which the Semco went to the court, and same time NCC also went to the court. Once that court proceedings are over, then only the result will come about that payment. It takes some time.
Okay. Got it, sir. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Vaibhav Shah from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. First, we mentioned that our exposure to AP, so receivables would be around 150 crores for Capital City and for running projects around 350 to 400 crores.
Yes,
the total amount is roughly 500 to 550 odd crores. So what was this amount as of March 24?
In the same level. There is no change in the first quarter. Since the elections are taken place in AP, no significant change taken place from that of March 24 to June 24.
So we expect this 550 crores to come down to around 200 odd crores in next couple of weeks.
Not couple of weeks totally. Some progress is there. Gradually, first they may release 100 crores, thereafter another 100 crores like that will be taken place. By end of second quarter, some clarity will come. By end of third quarter, some more amounts also may get released.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Saket Kapoor from Kapoor and Company. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Namaskar, sir, and thank you for the opportunity. Firstly, when you mentioned about order intake of, say, 20 to 22,000 crore, what is our bid pipeline out of which we are looking at the conversion rate of 20 to 22,000 crore?
Mr. Kapoor, we have a very healthy prospective pipeline of projects, close to 2 lakh crore. It's a prospective pipeline of projects, but it depends at what time client intends to award which project. So this is a function of the time and the decision-making cycle of the client. But we continue to have a very healthy pipeline of prospective projects, for the next 12 to 15 months.
Okay. And sir, what is our O&M component in the order book?
What do you mean by O&M component? Oh, okay. O&M, operation
maintenance, yes.
Now, in this order book, for all the major orders, what we secured in the last 2 years, particularly the Mallard water treatment project, the GMLR project, in electrical project, in all the projects, what are in O&M part is there, that we have excluded in the present order book. That we only take into the order book as and when project is completed, as and when we start the O&M. That is the policy of the company. As such, for all these major projects, O&M content is not there in the present order book. But in some of the orders, small size of orders, 300, 400, 500 crores of orders, a 1 year O&M, some 20 crores, 30 crores, small amounts, they will be there in the order book along with the main order value.
Okay, sir, but just to harp on it, so for revenue from operation or at a console level, what is the O&M component there?
Okay, from the O&M content, we can take about 10%, 4 to 5% of the major order book will be there.
Okay, so the revenue of 5,500 crore has a O&M component of 550 crore, to be precise.
That's 4,500 to 500 crores.
400 to 500 crore.
Yeah.
Sir, when we look at the order book split up in the various verticals, irrigation wala part is very, very small, only 2%. So can you allude to the factors? Is there not enough work in the irrigation sector, or what's the reason for a very small order book?
Yeah, you are right. Unfortunately or fortunately, the irrigation continues to be a state subject. There have been few awards, but this is not a very focused business area for us. We have 4 large, focus areas or divisions. Irrigation is a very small business for us, and depending on the experience that we have had in this sector in the past, in last 2 decades or so. So we are very selective. Let me say that we are very selective in bidding for irrigation projects. In the irrigation project, there are a lot of permissions, forest clearance. These projects are in very vast areas. This involves many times states. So we are very selective in this space. That said, there are 4 large divisions that I take this opportunity to share with you, which are giving us the orders that we really need. The first one is the buildings division. The second one is the transportation division. The third one is water division, and the fourth one is electrical T&D. So these 4 businesses are the focus areas for us. And I have already shared with you that the fact that we have a very healthy prospective pipeline of projects, and we are very happy to concentrate on the sectors that we think are profitable, sustainable for us, in the long term. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, sir, a small concluding point. I think so this time it is mentioned in the notes also that the board have given principal approval for amalgamation of NCC Infrastructure Holdings. So if you could just share your thought process on this procedure, although the rationale has been mentioned, but why have this timing being selected now, and if you could give some more color?
NCC IHL is a wholly owned subsidiary. That is the reason we thought, okay, we will merge that into this. Two things which we were thinking to achieve. One is on the tax benefits, okay, by getting the dividends into the main company so that they can get exempted when because of the dividend declaration by the main company. So the second one is on the administrative control and cutting down of the cost and also limiting the number of entities. These are the advantages we thought, okay, we'll have it when we have the merger of this amalgamation of this NCC IHL with NCC.
Yeah. Sir, concluding point on the major projects under execution, you alluded to the fact of UP project component having 6,000 crore of unexecutable portion that will get executed by this financial year. However, in your presentation, slide number 23, you allude to the fact of 1,635 crore as survey, design, drawing and construction multi-group villages scheme, water supply scheme in Agra. So if you could explain this, my understanding, where I'm getting it wrong.
No. I will explain. I will try to explain this question to you a little. We are executing Jal Jeevan Mission project, different kind of projects. There are two broad buckets of the Jal Jeevan Mission projects. The first bucket of projects is about the household, primarily rural potable water connections to the households. This is the first part. So we are executing this project, as well as we have bulk water supply projects. We have bagged two large projects in the Agra, Firozabad, in these two places. So in this slide, what we intend to do is to share with the investors and analyst community the broad span of projects that we are executing. This is not a total number. If you add these projects, all the value of the project, this is not 52,626 crore. What we intend to do here is to highlight what are the signature marquee projects that we are currently executing. Just to give a sense of the span of, the complexity, the different verticals, the projects that we are currently executing. That is what the intent is.
Okay, sir. And for the UP project, sir, can you give the number? What is the execution amount we have executed for Q1, and how you have given 6,000 crore will be spread over the coming 3 quarters. But how much have we done in terms of the billing? Ma'am, let me complete, and I'm done. How much have we?
We had total order value of about 17,000 crore from this mission. We have already executed about 60 to 70% of the project. What remains to be executed in the next 3 quarters is about 6,000 crore of the project.
Yes, sir.
To answer your question, how much have we done in the first quarter?